What's going on, guys? So I am out here with the new Toro Z Master 2000 HDX, courtesy of the folks over at Toro. They sent this to me at no charge to the channel for a review and evaluation, and I sincerely appreciate it. I'm humbled by it, actually, because, you know, if it weren't for companies like this supporting me and my sponsors and other things, it'd be hard to do what I do, because I try to give a video to you guys every single day. And so far, I've been really happy with this MyRide suspension system. We moved it out to a slightly firmer position. When we picked it up, I think they set it on 3, which is the midway point. And again, you want to have both of these in the same position on each side. 1 is going to be the softest, 5 is going to be the firmest, and we have it set on 4, just because there's some pretty big bumps out here, and it's always best to try to get the most comfort out of it that you can. So far, the motor's been handling this yard with no issues whatsoever, haven't bogged it down. To be honest, I haven't gone over anything incredibly challenging with it. We've hit some really big bumps. Back there, there are some pretty big potholes, or I don't really know what you would call them, but there's some pretty big bumps, as well as the front part of the yard. I mean, there's just a lot for this thing to go over. You know, whenever you look at mowers and you see the ratings of most mowers, how they're designed for like 1 to 2, 1 to 3 acres, you definitely can understand that pretty quickly, especially if your yard isn't perfectly flat. If you have a really smooth, flat yard, I imagine you could probably do a lot more with a lot less in terms of mowers. But when you hit yards that have a lot of bumps, like this yard has a lot of bumps. There's a couple areas where you feel like you've gotten airborne, even if you're going slow. It takes something that is commercially built, and I honestly believe in that now. And to be out here and to mow the yard with this, as well as my Skag, you definitely can tell that this yard puts a beat down on mowers. And you know, a commercial mower is really what you need for something like this, only because of the sheer size. You know, you're pushing 7.5 acres of property, and it's all grass. So, you know, there's a lot of properties out there, including my neighbor behind me, that only an acre is manicured. That's all he keeps around his property that's manicured. Everything else is super tall brush that he has to run a big bush hog over once every couple of months just so he can keep it in check. But they don't run a zero turn out there. So, you know, there's a lot of people that might have 500-600 acres of land. I got a buddy of mine that has over 1,000 acres of land, but you don't see 90% of it, 99% of it with the lawnmower. It's all hit with the tractor, with a bush hog on the back and a shredder. But when you're talking about having, you know, 7.5 acres of land that is grass that you need to mow with a mower, that's entirely different than a lot of these other properties that you might see. You can have tons of acreage, but again, how much of that acreage are you actually mowing with a lawnmower versus a tractor? So, you know, again, most cases, when you look at bigger properties, they might only have an acre or 2 that's actual grass, and the rest of it is brush and needs to be maintained with something larger. So this property puts a hurting on mowers, and so far this thing's handled it well. But again, it's pretty much brand new, so I can't really comment on its long-term dependability until I've had it for longer and I've subjected it to more. So we'll see how it holds up. It's certainly been doing okay for now, but this is really only the second half of the mowing we've done with it. And I got to be honest with you, so far it's kind of surpassed the other mower I have in terms of reliability. But you can always have a part that fails, or a fluke, or some type of an issue with a component. But this thing has been rock solid so far. Anyways, we're going to go and take off, finish this up, and we're going to work on some other projects. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys something real quick. So you see these Gopher Mounds? These things are like little hills, little mounds, exactly what they are in the middle of your grass. When you hit them, you feel the whole tractor move up and down. And even though this has a suspension seat, or at least a suspension platform, it moves a lot. And sometimes you feel like you're dropping into a hole and bouncing back out. Now, that being said, it is not that jarring. It's not that bad. You just kind of feel, I guess if you're like in an airplane and when you hit an air pocket where it kind of goes like this, you feel that occasionally, partially because you're sitting up a little bit higher as well. But this thing is super maneuverable. We have some pretty thick grass up here that we've been chopping through. We got a lot of yard back here that we've been mowing, and it handles it really, really well. So I'm gonna keep going. I got most of the stuff way over there already finished. I got all this to do. I got some more back there. But yeah, we should be on here probably another hour and a half. Let's keep going. All right, so just knocked out the rest of the yard. We are at about half a tank at this point, I guess. The crazy thing is it's very hard to tell how much fuel you have. So that's my biggest critique at this point, is there's no dedicated fuel gauge. It's just this little full circle, half circle, empty circle, and then you have to kind of look at the side of the tank and see if you can see the fuel sloshing inside there. It would have been really nice if they put a little fuel gauge, like an actual fuel gauge, like right here or somewhere up here that you could read. Anyways, we are all wrapped up. Sorry about the dog barking in the background, but yeah, we are all wrapped up, and I'm gonna blow this thing off and get it put away for today. Okay, so we have the mower back in the garage, and I want to show you a few accessories that I have that are kind of unrelated to the mower itself, but I use while I'm out mowing the grass. And all of these I bought and paid for myself. These weren't sponsored items. These weren't provided to me. I went to Lowe's and I picked up those, and I got that off Amazon. So let me grab this right here. These are the IsoPro or Isotunes Pro noise isolating earbuds, OSHA compliant. Here they are right here dangling. They work really well. These are what I moved to from these. So these are the 3M, I forgot what these are called. Are they Worktunes? Yeah, Worktune headphones. Again, I picked these up from Lowe's. I believe they were about 65, 70 bucks. These are really cool. They are certainly noise isolating. You know, I think I told a lot of you guys in the past, I used to play drums, and I had some headphones that were super, super noise isolating headphones whenever you're playing, if you're going to be listening to music and playing along with it or using them as monitors. And these feel very similar to those. They feel like they will hold up a little better only because of the material right here. It's not as soft, it's more like a plastic or a vinyl material. But they work pretty well. The problem is they're real bulky, and if it's really hot and sunny outside, like it typically is down here in Texas, you want to wear a hat, and you can't wear a hat with these. You could probably put it over like a ball cap, but if you're wearing like a sun hat or a cowboy hat, you can't do that. So these Isotune Pros work really good because they kind of go around the back of your neck and into your ear, and they have these little compressible foam little earpieces that slide into your ear and hold themselves in place. These work really well. I've actually been really happy with these, and I first heard about them on a video from Brian's Lawn Maintenance. I completely forgot that that's where I heard about them. So I went and bought them on Amazon, and then he had a coupon code or something that I should have used to get them at a lower price. But I cannot remember honestly how much I paid for these. I think they were like $70 to $100. I just bought them. I should probably remember, but that's how scatterbrained I am right now. And these little Dewalt protective glasses. These are super cool. I have a pretty large head, and it's hard to fit certain glasses over my head comfortably, but these fit really well. Picked these up from Lowe's, and I think I paid like 10 bucks for them. But they work really well, super comfortable. Whenever you're mowing the grass, especially if you're mowing over sand, you always want to wear eye protection because you can get tons and tons of dirt, debris, dust, and stuff inside of your eyes, and you just don't want to deal with that, especially if you have allergies, seasonal allergies or whatnot, because it can really aggravate and irritate your eyes. And having eye protection that fits snugly over your eyes is super important. Not just the kind that you might do if you're doing woodworking or if you're working around, things that could fly into your eyes, larger shards, but if you're working around dust, stuff like that, you want to definitely wear eye protection that fits comfortably and protects your eyes well. And these have done a fantastic job. I have the goggle style, but they don't fit real well, so I tend to wear these. But yeah, these are some of the things that I wear whenever I'm out mowing the grass. Regardless of if I'm on the Toro Z-Master 2000 or the Skag Cheetah, they both just work real well. And like I said, I don't use these much anymore. I mainly use these and these. If I'm going to do a quick project, maybe something in the garage, some woodworking or something like that, I might throw these on simply because I'm already covered by the garage door. And, I don't really need to have the ability to wear a hat while I'm inside of here working. But that's the stuff. I'll put a link in the description of the video if this is something you may be interested in. I really love these IsoPro. Really do. Like them a lot. They work really well. They both isolate about the same. Well, I take that back. The IsoPro isolate a little bit better than 3M, but not much. They're pretty much the same. I think the big difference is they're both Bluetooth, but because these go a little further in your ear, these are louder. So if you're listening to music or if you're listening to Audible or something like that, you can turn your sound up a little louder and it's a little bit clearer whenever you're mowing on relatively loud mowers. Anyways, guys, I sure hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't had a chance, please take a moment, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and we'll talk to you again very soon.